clowns, clowns, clown-sized clown. Yeah! He's back. And comedians are real, something different. It's something different than clowns. We don't tell jokes. You had just Olaf, he was telling a story, and the jokes is just a small thing to keep you, whatever. He brought me back to my ascension as comedian. It's not about the laugh, it's about the story and the laugh. The next comedian is all the way from, you tell it yourself? You hear that? Yeah, good, applause, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the next comedian, Socrates, Inglessis, Singaras, Comaras, Coderos, Socrates. Give him a big hand.
Thanks so much, keep it going for the Stamatios! Yeah, I've known Stamatios for a bunch of years now. I met him back when I was a clown. He's a good kid. And, we have a lot in common because we have the exact same background. It's almost identical. So how y'all doing tonight? I was the other night. The shark approached me, and it was like, cargo pants? What year are you stuck in? I told him I don't know. So I have no idea. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Because I had a stroke once, so that might just be me. Bruta. Bruta, it's a Dutch word. Dutch. Bruta? Bruta. 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 Sorry, I had a stroke. My mouth doesn't work well. Here you are making me feel bad for being on stage. And I was attacked by a shark a while ago, too. So, it's one of the nice words, of my favorite Dutch words, the little white triangles on the ground, the high tendon. Basically it's a yield sign. If you don't know, if you keep going through them, everybody keeps yelling at you, calling you a klotzack. It's because you're a klotzack. The high tendon is a great word. I like high for a Dutch word, because you see a shark, it's naturally what you would say. Hi! What is it? It's a shark. No, it's a high. I think. I don't know. Maybe you guys like sharks. There's a bunch of shark people. Looking forward to Shark Week. I don't want Shark Week. I'm not like that. I come for the music. Yeah. If they only knew that people were listening to them, they would have stage fright. Is what they would have. They would have fear. How many of you guys want to get up on stage? Anybody else want to? Oh no. She looked at you because you either want to, or you really don't want to. But your reaction, as an English person, was exactly what it should have been, which was. How long you lived here now? Like a decade, because I sounded like your Dutch was pretty good, especially for a British man. You said that very confidently. I liked it. How's your Spijkenese? Spijkenese? Yeah, that's the test. That's like one of the big test words out of the Dutch. If you can't say it, they're like, oh, you must be German, because everybody else is German. Maybe my pronunciation wasn't that good because, let's face it, I'm not exactly that Dutch yet, But the English is not my first language, because as you can tell, I am an American. Yeah. See that, But you have to understand, man, I've been here 15 years. That was the most positive reaction that the Americans have gotten since, I think, Obama. I voted for Obama and I left 3 months later because I could see where that was going to go. I was right. Anybody go to the U.S.? Anybody want to? Yeah, smart people. So I've been here 15 years now. I became Dutch in January, so we've been in Nederland. Woo! Hey, thanks. They made me give up my guns. How do you live? I don't know. Don't approach me. Oh, sorry. If you go to the U.S., never ever approach anyone. And if you have to, just tell them they're right. No matter what. You know what I mean? This is making me feel funky. Yeah. Or it's the stroke. I can't tell. So yeah, I got to go to the hospital here. Got to do the house of paracetamol. Any doctors and nurses in the house? Nobody? Anyone go to the hospital? Bunch of coordinated people? I still got to get off this stage. You don't know. The night's early. We'll see how it goes. I found out stuff about myself. You know what I mean? Things you don't know. Like, I mean, I knew I didn't like pain because pain sucks. You know, that's why I'm a guy. We don't do pain. You know, right? Our whole lives about avoiding it if at all possible. You know, and like basically, I got hit by a scooter, so I am the national Dutch victim. You know, because I was on my bike. And the scooter came around a corner, and he was on the bike path. There was a car on a bike path, and the scooter staring at the car, and he came across the corner, and I tried to explain to him the various things he was doing wrong, which in one word in Dutch is pannenkoek. But I didn't have time to even say pannenkoek, so all I could say was, ah! And I went flying through the air, which was the best part of the day. After that, I went straight downhill. Yeah. But I found out that when the nurse came up and she saw my x-ray, she did the thing that you should never do if you are a doctor. Yeah, like that. Is she looked up at the x-ray and she went, huh. You never do that. Never, no. As a doctor, you go, hey, looking good. She made up for it, though, because she said to me the best words a doctor ever said to me, which was, would you like a shot of morphine? Yeah. They talk about this paracetamol crap. I have yet to have a doctor offer me paracetamol. You know, morphine, sure. Oxycontin. In fact, the ambulance, he was like, do you want a shot of fentanyl? You know, as an American, I said, no. Just give me some heroin. Then I realized, you should probably take the fentanyl. You know, when anybody offers you fentanyl in a park, doesn't matter, take the fentanyl. And so he gave it to me, actually. He put the shunt in my hand, and I felt this wonderful feeling of relief. And then he said to me, now I'm going to give you the fentanyl. And I said, what the hell did you just give me? He said, saline. I don't know if saline got them too mixed up or not, but salt is really good. You put salt on your food, I know why. I got to tell you, waves of relief from that stuff. I like it. Yeah, they treated me with the Dutch thing they call, you talk about Dutch things, one of the Dutch things is Nixon. You know what this? Yeah, it's not the second worst president of all time. No, it's nothing. It's absolutely nix. They just turned it from nix to Nixon, which is lazy, I think Dutch is an interesting language. I can't pronounce it, as you noticed, but I am an American with a stroke, so I do have 2 excuses. But like the word shoe is a perfectly good shoe. It's a perfectly good word. You heard that wrong because of the music. Yeah, it's okay. And but it's like we don't have the word the ch sound in English. I'm communicating fine. No chucking, Haven't had a ch once. You guys hear various things. You're understanding it, right? You begrijp it. Meteen ch. But the Dutch are like, we go hook it up. You know what I mean? Like, graag gedaan is one of my favorite Dutch words. It's a nice word, graag. Yes, to be pleased, but graag. Why is it met graag? You know what I mean? It's a Klingon word. Yeah, graag. But like shoe, perfectly good word. But they had to Dutch it up. Schoen. Schoenen. Yeah, schoen maken. Schoen. And that's cool. I get that. You know what I mean? It's true, right? It's the same damn word, but they just touched it, But I get that. That's fine. But then you get hand shoes for gloves. Handschoenen. You're talking about phoning it in. Hand shoes. Okay, fine. Let's go logic. Hand shoes. I get that. What about a muts of a cat? It's a hoofdschoenen. No, the muts and cat. What a pibbeltjeschoenen. What's wrong with a pibbeltjeschoenen for a condom? See, if you don't speak any Dutch at all, some of this goes right over your head. But pimmeltje is a great word for the penis because it combines so many of the Dutch things. You know, it's a strange sounding word and it's diminutive. Because it's pimmelchen. It's like when the foreigners wonder why they walk into a store and people treat them with brutality and a brusque kind of like unfriendly thing. It's because they walk in and say, I want to ask a question. We walk in, we say, first of all, you know, who is it? Which is nice to ask how they are. Then we ask for even vraagje, which is a little tiny question. Because even is a little and vraagje is even smaller. So it's an even vraagje. Think you this is kanker? Does this look like cancer? Yeah, even. And then we'll say to you, even kijken. We'll take a little tiny look. And by tumor, stare at the tumor. Put all of your experience into this thing. But this thing about, you don't like the even kijken? You're not an even kijken? You say all the time, you don't even think about it. Even kijken. Yeah, even vraagje. Little tiny question. It's cute, it's a nice thing. And then you ask something horrible, like, can I borrow money? Can I use your gun? Don't ask questions. Again, it's an American problem. So like I said, like living here, it's different. I don't know if like you've never been to the US, so we have a different thing, you know. You guys did gezellig, you know, which is like how you have a really fun evening with a bunch of music in the background. But in America, we do mass shootings, you know, which sometimes has music in the background. Like that Vegas one, you know, and we're like, how can you fix it? By the way, if there's ever a mass shooting, you know, it's never the time to talk about it. You know what I mean? You should try that at home. You know, you get caught cheating. This is not the time to talk about this, okay? It might work. I don't know. You got nothing else to do. You just got caught cheating. You got no outs. You know what I mean? In fact, if you need an excuse, I will give the world's most useful excuses. This is from the American perspective, but it doesn't necessarily work here as well, but try it out as building to this, which is you say always, traffic was really, really bad. Because in the US, traffic is always really bad. Because there's probably a mass shooting down the street. People trying to get the hell out the way. I went to the store once, and as I drove there, they have an intersection, like a little island in the middle, and there were 2 cars parked there because they had a car accident. This is life in the US, Florida. And on my way back to the house, there were 4 cars parked there because they had a lot more car accidents because they were doing it. And nobody watched. And I forgot, so I had to go back to the store yet again. Literally, there were now 6 and then 8. I gotta tell you, if you ever go to Florida, watch your ass because there's somebody behind you in an SUV and they're gonna drive over you. And beyond that, they have a gun. So definitely don't get mad at them. And if you're lucky, they'll have fentanyl. And also, by the way, my aunt just passed away literally 12 days before her birthday. She would have been 109. Yeah, she spent her entire life at war. That's one more call back. My name is Socrates. See you guys later. Give us the money.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was Socrates Inglessis from the United States. Yes, woo! And you can touch him. He's